off your cell phones. We want to make sure that the emergency personnel have all those channels open for critical communications.
No. An air show in Dallas over the weekend featured World War II era planes being flown by experts. And the mid-air collision happened anyway, though, and obviously both pilots of those planes have passed away. Also, by the way, we saw multiple angles there of the accident, and that's helpful because there was no black boxes on either one of those planes. Again, we'll get into the reasons why that is, but they can at least use what they have seen and what we've seen to determine what all went down. Let's get into all of those. Let's get more about the black boxes, whether or not those planes, why those planes weren't equipped with them, and also how that really could have helped. Let's watch a little bit more.
5 crew members of the B-17 and the pilot of the P-63 were fatally injured. Neither aircraft was equipped with a flight data recorder or a cockpit voice recorder, often known as the black box.
Are you serious, bro?
The evidence scattered over Dallas Executive Airport and a nearby highway. Pieces of a B-17 Flying Fortress and a P-63 King Cobra. Both World War II era planes crewed by aviation veterans. One of them, Terry Barker, lost on the B-17. Barker, an Army veteran and longtime American Airlines pilot, described as beloved and someone flying to honor the greatest generation. Organizers with the Commemorative Air Force say the fatal crash happened during a maneuver called Bombers on Parade.
It's scary every time you see it. So a little bit more because I was talking about the different angles they took, and as you saw, there's no black boxes on any of those. They're trying to determine the reasons behind this. So while flight data records and other data devices, including cockpit recorders, are required for commercial airliners, they're optional for most other air operations, including commuter, charter, and tour flights, as well as most vintage aircraft, in which digital services would often have to be adapted for mechanical flight control systems. The vintage aircraft in Saturday's deadly collision at a Dallas air show, as expected, lacked flight data recorders, making social media crucial to the investigation. That's what a federal official said. So it's where it is, but also maybe as long as the safety features or parameters or regulations had to be put in place. But really, my question is we're still doing these things, man. My wife told me over the weekend. She said her brother and when they were younger, they were at an air show, like her brother and stepdad, I believe, were at an air show, and the same thing happened. And there was just a bunch of questions of who all was injured. They didn't know if the family was hurt. But these things tend to happen somewhat regularly, I feel like, even though I don't pay close attention to how many air shows there are and whether or not it goes down. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth the awe-inspiring nature of these air shows when it ends like this.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. This is a sad situation, right? People got injured, people lost their lives. This, rest in peace, very sad. Let's put this into a greater context, right? This happened on Veterans Day, where a lot of people who grew up working class, who joined the military because they see it as some path to a better life, because they have a lack of options. So instead, they put their life on the line for the country to go fight wars where more often than not, we are just securing resources, exploiting land and labor, and imposing our beliefs onto another country so that they're within the fold of the US capitalist system globally, right? Not a good reason to go off and join the military and die. And what we're doing here is it's a community event that is just a display of our military power, knowing how that military power is used. Is this a good community event? Like, should we be celebrating our military might? Like, is that a good time? It's a weird pastime. Like, it feels like people coming together for a barbecue or a cookout or literally anything other than, look at the cool planes we used in a war one time. I don't know, it just feels weird to me if you zoom out and you take yourself out of the context of what's acceptable in the United States and you really think this is what human beings are up to. It doesn't sit right with me.
I was gonna say, isn't it a day when we should be thinking about the veterans that but that's Memorial Day. Think about the veterans that we've lost and it's somber. I'm not sure Veterans Day, I guess the idea is the energy is more positive. Like there's the folks who went off, fought bravely and came back and we're gonna celebrate you. So they do these types of things. But at least, again, I've never been in the military, so I'm willing to defer to anyone who has. I would assume seeing air shows that resemble war that you survived, you probably don't want to be seeing. Again, I don't know, maybe that's just me. If I made it, I'm like, The things I saw, the things I did, the things I experienced, the folks that I lost. Here, let's watch the reenactment. No, bro, I don't know. Maybe that's the case for some folks. So I'm not judging anybody who enjoys it, but ending like this is nothing to enjoy. I hope we find better ways to honor folks that do things that all of us won't do. And as you said, the reasons they do it gives it even bigger of a gut punch. Not that their motivation is, it's just the folks that recruited them's motivation.